how do the ads go? What is it? Sponsored? No. All the government ads at the end, it's like...
Oh, it's too fast.
Australian government Canberra, something.
Yes.
Something at the start, though.
We should edit that into
the
start of the episode in general.
And the end.
And then go.
Yeah. Nice. Every 5 seconds, it's just... Nice. Good idea. We love the government here.
It's all right. Does okay.
Yeah. Does the job. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. Welcome back to Fill in the Gaps, proudly presented by Industry Tattoo Supply. I am Egg, and with me today is another fantastic tattoo artist and human. Actually, my fiance's favourite tattoo artist.
Oh, I'll take that.
There you go. She's not here to say hello.
I believe you.
Yeah. You are her favourite.
Excellent.
She has many good stories of you. Haven't heard any bad ones, so that's ideal.
Good. Yes.
And also a person who I had the pleasure of talking to before coming onto the podcast and had to go to her door to go get some mail, which was fantastic. We just found out it was a Team U order.
Yeah.
So we love that. We do. It's Taz.
Hey.
How you going?
Good. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you here. My apologies for how I sound. I'm not sick, but I was sick. Melbourne does that to you, especially when you love the cold and dress in shorts and a T-shirt and drink iced lattes, even when it's freezing. Yeah. But you live and you learn, or you at least live and you don't learn at all. So apologies to everyone listening that you have to put up with this, and apologies for everyone for the last 23 episodes for having to put up with this. So is what it is. You've done it to yourself.
Gets better.
Exactly. It only gets better. Only goes up from here. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate the podcast, share the podcast, tell everyone about the podcast, and everything's been awesome recently. Fantastic, other than being sick, but yeah other than that.
Life is good.
Life is fantastic.
Good.
Yeah. I also had a guy, like a 4-year-old kid on the drive here. I was at a traffic light and he was wearing a Batman shirt.
Very good.
And a cape as well.
Yes.
And I was at a traffic light and my car's black and it's like a sports car. And he like came up, went up to like right next to the road and was like pointing and like yelling and like looking at my car, and I was like, I've made it.
Self-proclaimed Batman podcast.
Exactly.
Yes, even better.
I drive the Batmobile.
Very good.
That's what we're saying. So that made me feel a little bit better.
Maybe Batman is actually bold and you could just start wearing the mask
maybe.
to the podcast and fully
I haven't watched enough.
Yourself.
I haven't watched enough Batman to know if he actually is bald. So
there you go.
Until further notice, I'm Batman. That was a terrific impersonation. I feel like just talking normally at the moment.
The voice is raspy, you're already in character anyway.
I am Batman. There we go. That's my impersonation. But yes, Taz, my fiance's favourite tattoo artist, Team U lover. Also a Muay Thai champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Winner of the, what was the award called?
The Alan Pond Most Promising Fighter Award.
There you go.
On Muay Thai Grand Prix.
Well done.
Which was about, I'm going to say 4 weeks ago now. Honestly feels like a dream. Did I imagine the whole thing? Maybe. Maybe you got knocked out in the first 5 seconds and you're still out. Either way, I'll take it. If I'm in a coma right now, no worries.
Exactly. Where would you rather be than on a shitty little podcast, you know?
Oh, nowhere else.
So, yeah, you had the fight recently. How long have you been doing martial arts for and what got you into it?
Specifically Muay Thai I've been doing for, I'm going to say about like 3 years now. Okay. Probably took it really seriously since I joined my current gym, Legends Academy, for the last, I'm going to say year and a half now. I started Muay Thai because I actually went and watched a good friend of mine, Tony, fight for the first time. And this is like a solid 5 years ago. And he was doing his first kind of D-Day debut fight, and it's like, 20, 30 fights in one night, back to back. So it's a lot, like it's pretty exhausting. But yeah, went and watched Tony fight, and I was just blown away. Like you watch the bout, and in your head, I think I always pick a favourite, and then you always think that person's won because you're like, oh, they're getting heaps of chops or they're getting heaps of whatever moved down. But obviously it comes down to the judges, and when they put up the scorecards or whatever afterwards and actually announce who's won, it's never who I actually think it's going to be sometimes.
So you're a poor judge.
I'm a very poor judge,
yeah.
But it kind of put into perspective that, like, it's not about just fully beating the shit out of the other person. It's about, like, being composed and winning exchanges, and it's like kind of more like a dance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really liked that about it. So it was like a form of self-defense, but also like outsmarting the other person and that kind of thing, rather than like straight up UFC just beating the shit out of the other person. But yeah, absolute shout out to Tony Knight. It was an absolute inspiration.
Nice. Good stuff. So the fight that you had a few weeks ago, you won it, obviously.
Yes.
Easily.
Oh, I'd like to say that, but it was not quite the case.
Okay. We'll say anyway, though, that anyone that was there and thinks otherwise, just shut your mouth. But how many professional fights have you done?
I wouldn't even say that was a professional fight.
Okay.
So I'm still an amateur fighter.
Okay.
This one, I have another coming up in about 13 days or so.
Okay.
So like 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that will be my third amateur fight. So the first, I'm going to say, was like a D-class fight. So you're wearing headgear, you've got shin gear, elbow pads on. There's no teeps to the face or knees to the face, that kind of thing. So it's a little bit more chill.
Okay.
And then I've just had my first C-class fight, which is no headgear. You've still got your shinies and your elbow pads on, but it's like full contact kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then, the next one I'll have will be a D fight as well. So there's still amateur fights, but it's all very serious business.
Okay, nice. And then C class, you're allowed to bring one weapon of your choosing.
Yes.
Yeah. And then B class, that's like you're allowed to bring a mate who also has a weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it goes up from there. And you slowly get closer and closer to the car park
Okay.
as the fights go on as well.
Cool.
My personal weapon of choice is just some pocket sand.
Okay.
Yeah, I reckon that's the way to go.
From any particular beach or sandpit, or
anything really thick, a little bit grouty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Really get it in the eyes.
Yeah. Nice. And then I'm assuming A class is like UFC level fighters, but it's suburb versus suburb.
Yes.
Just all in.
Mobs of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and big money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I would shout out your suburb, but I don't know what suburb you're repping, so it's okay.
Oh, just the northern suburbs.
Okay. Yeah. Wouldn't want to take them on. North versus south, that's A class. Just
That's
north of the river versus south of the river.
That's some like Crips and Bloods scenarios
honestly.
going on for sure.
That's insane. I like that. So D class is the next one as well, same as last time, so no headgear?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. How are you feeling about that? Do you feel... Obviously, I was going to say, do you feel ready for that kind of like no headgear and everything? But obviously, you wouldn't be doing it if.
I actually only found out like a couple of days prior to the last one that I wasn't going to be wearing headgear.
Ideal.
And the gloves are actually a lot smaller as well. So I think originally I was fighting in like 12 ounce.
Okay.
And these ones just gone, I think, were 8.
Okay.
So just before we went on, my coach was like, oh, we should fill these out because you haven't done this before. So, like, your guarding is way tighter because they're smaller gloves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also when they actually hit you, you fully feel it. Yeah, which was a little bit surprising. But
I've looked into, like, the sciences and everything of... Because I'm pretty sure UFC's 6 ounce or something like that. It's really
small.
thin.
Yeah.
But then boxing's like 12 ounces, I think.
Yes.
Or like higher even. I don't know.
But that sounds about right.
But then there's this thing about how boxing is actually more dangerous because there's more padding. So like your mind tells you can punch harder.
Yes.
So you do end up punching harder. Whereas when you've got less, you just instinctively don't punch as hard.
I mean,
I don't know. Yeah.
I definitely felt like when I had the headgear on, I was untouchable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you would get whomped in the head, but you wouldn't really feel it. And then definitely afterwards when all the gear came off and like you've cooled down, like not immediately, like you're starting to lose your adrenaline.
Yeah.
You're getting cold now. I was like, oh, I've got a fucking headache.
Yeah.
And like, do you know what I mean? It kind of all comes back.
Yeah.
But I came away relatively unscathed from the last one without headgear on. I definitely took some solid shots to the face. But yeah, it was, so I agree with that science.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's a fact.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like, I mean, I did one sparring session, one lot of sparring session, I don't know, in boxing because I used to do pad work at the gym and stuff just for cardio. And the guy that was helping me, I think I've said this on the podcast before, but he was like, oh, I know this guy that runs a boxing gym. Like, you should go down and just do some sparring. And I was like, fucking why not? I was like 16 years old.
Had you done a lot of pads at this point prior, or was it just do some sparring?
No, probably like a year of pad work.
Okay.
So like, but it's just like cardio. He did, I said this like a few episodes ago and I still never checked in with him to see what he does. I think it's kickboxing. I'm not sure though, but like he's been in that kind of industry a while and everything. So it was cardio, but he was teaching technique and all that. So decent. I was 16, weighed probably like 60 kilos soaking wet, showed up to this fucking boxing gym and legit like the guy that taught me there, he's like, do you have a mouth guard? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right.
Jump in.
I was
Go
like,
for it.
And it was just like an open like cage kind of scenario, like people just like, just like pairing up. And
That's
I'm just
so
like
funny. They're
fighting
like
like
straight
this,
in the cage.
legit
Go for
like
it,
these
man.
25-year-old guys, like to be fair and all fairness, they were like good with me and everything, but they were fucking tagging me and I came away with some decent like bruises and black eyes and shit.
There's
but like,
definitely days where you get full-blown beat up, but what an introduction. Did
honestly.
you ever do it again?
Nah, like, I don't know, because it was a free trial and then I would have had to
Okay.
pay after that and I was focusing on basketball, so...
Beaten up
No,
at this
exactly.
point.
Like, I did okay considering no experience or anything, but like, I think if I went there now, I'd be fine because like I'm older, more mature, but being
Or you know what
16,
you're in for, at
exactly,
least.
just
I think
walking in.
The like learning curve between like hitting pads and hitting a person was genuinely like shocking for me. Like, so when you're holding for like hooks or whatever, I'd kind of hold it all the way out here. And then when it came to sparring, I was like, oh no, you're aiming for someone's chin.
Yeah.
It was quite shocking.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even realize, because for so long, people that would hold pads for me were usually shorter than me.
Yeah.
I was actually punching downwards.
Yeah.
And that's still something that I feel like I needed to correct up until now.
Yeah.
But it's hectic.
Yeah, there is a massive jump because, I mean, like I've played footy my whole life and my role is basically just like an enteric, like just a fucking pest. Like everyone wants to punch me in the head. I'm just like in there getting the ball, getting down and dirty. If someone fucks with my teammate, I'm like in there grabbing their jumper and everything. So like I'm ready to grab someone's jumper and like jumper punch them.
Perfect.
But when it comes to like, I've got gloves, you've got gloves, hit them. I'm like, I feel bad. They haven't done anything to me. I don't want to hit them. Like, so that was, especially being 16, I was like, I don't know.
Not enough rage in you at that point.
I wouldn't mind doing sparring or something, but I also have very short arms, so it's not great.
A problem.
Like,
no, just get
it
closer.
kind of is. It was when I was 16, 25-year-olds, they're just like, bang, and I'm just like, but I mean, I got a couple of shots in, happy with that, I can retire. I've never lost a fight.
Amazing.
So,
undefeated.
yeah, never won either, but we'll ignore that part. I've never lost a fight. So, because you are quite tall, so do you have like long limbs and is that an advantage?
I'm definitely
or?
lanky.
Okay.
Oh, there's advantages and disadvantages for everything. Do you know what I mean? So like long distance wise, like obviously it's good. As long as I can stay in the range that I'm comfortable in, I can land a kick, but you can't hit me. Do you know what I mean? But that's constantly like keeping that space as you're going in and picking your shots when you want to come in.
Yeah.
And then it means like I'm a little bit slower. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you're kind of shorter, I feel like they're a lot quicker with their combos and that kind of thing. So it's like a lot of setting things up or not being so obvious when I'm trying to throw shots.
Is it easier for shorter fighters to like chop your legs and that kind of thing because your legs are longer, or is it not so much?
I definitely get chopped a lot, so I'm going to say yes. Okay. But in my defense, it's easier for me to throw like head kicks or like rig kicks or that kind of thing from that distance as well. So I think regardless of your height, if you're managing your distance well and you know what you want to throw, then perfection.
Yeah, I manage my distance really well in fights like that. I'm outside of the ring.
Oh,
so
perfect. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, they
Real
can't hit
safe
me.
zone.
Yeah, exactly. I can't hit them either. But nice. I feel like that makes sense though, like having the advantage of reach, but then you are also slower. Because as a shorter kind of person, short limbs, I was always quicker with like pad work and everything as well and moving. But yeah, as soon as someone has long limbs, I'm like,
and it's a little bit obvious as well, like because when you're going to throw something, you throw your hands up, they're like, oh, that's a fucking kid. No worries.
Fucking giraffe. Here we go. Nice. Have you ever met like Pepe Geometry from Elysian tattoo?
Haven't met her personally.
Okay.
I'd like to say that we're somewhat social media friends.
Okay.
We're not only follow each other on Instagram, but I think it's a next level when you have each other on Facebook.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't even have her on Facebook.
Oh, there we go.
No.
But I wouldn't want to say that we are friends because that might be embarrassing for me when she doesn't know who I am. But love her work.
Okay.
She seems really sweet.
I'll shoot her a message after this and let her know that you're a big fan, and then you guys can catch up because
Perfect.
yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm the wingman.
Very good.
Because she was on the podcast. She does Muay Thai. She knows a couple of my mutual friends that also do Muay Thai, and she's an absolute sweetheart. I can't imagine her kicking someone, but I also wouldn't want to get kicked by her because
very fair. That's the most scariest people. I think is the ones where you're like, you're so nice. I don't think you kick anyone. Ever.
But then
they've got got demons.
angry little Italian woman. I'm good. I'm sorry, Pepe.
Literally spicy.
Yeah. It's a spicy one. I'll have to hit her up and get her to hit you up on Facebook.
Wow.
I feel bad now that I'm going to be like, I'm not friends with her on Facebook. Maybe I am, and I can't remember, and that just makes me look like a dick.
You've dug yourself a hole.
Yeah, sorry, I've got too many friends on Facebook.
Add her first and then,
straight after this, I'm going on Facebook so that by the time people watch this,
they're
like,
already done.
Yeah. Not that no one even knows my Facebook, but it's all right.
Fine.
Oh well. And then the next thing I wanted to talk to you about was floristry.
Yes.
Because you're big into the flowers, dried flowers, is that right?
Yeah, preserved, dried, dead.
Nice.
Yes.
How did you get into that? Are you still into it? Is it something you do, or is it kind of?
It's kind of a bit of like a fun side hustle.
Okay.
It's nice to have like another creative outlet that's not just tattooing.
Yep.
Not that is not my absolute high and mighty.
Okay.
But it's nice to do things other than your job to stay in love with your job in a sense.
Yep.
I actually did a commission like literally a couple days ago. So kind of started out, I always wanted to tattoo in general growing up. That was like the dream job. But I'd applied for a couple of apprenticeships and kind of got knocked back a little bit. But looking back at my portfolio that I was applying for these shops for, I would not hire me either. That was just shocking.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, loved floristry. Worked at a couple different shops probably like throughout high school-y time. But it's not the best industry to get into kind of financially, I guess. There was a couple places that I worked at that ended up kind of going bankrupt and closing down.
Nice.
Hopefully nothing to do with me actually working there.
Your portfolio.
Oh, yeah, must have been. But it was kind of around the time that Coles, Woolies, etc. started selling fresh flowers, and I feel like it really fucked up like the little kiosks and stuff that were at the shopping centres as well, which was kind of the two shops that I had worked at. So yeah, loved that. Was like, don't really want to pay money to either go to flower school or to go to TAFE to learn this.
What's flower school?
It's literally like
what it sounds like?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So you learn the basics of floristry there, I guess.
Right.
Same as like you would in a TAFE course, but it's more of like a skill.
What do they teach you about flowers? Like types of flowers? Or?
I guess it would types of. I didn't go, so I actually
true. That's a good point.
But I presume it's more of like the structural basis of how to do things. So if you go to a wedding and there's an arbor behind the two people getting married, like how do you get the flowers to stick to that and like look?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I see.
Which I kind of figured out myself, so it's fine. But
Fuck flower school.
Don't need it.
Exactly. Who needs it?
But I'm going to say like 2013 or something like that. My cousin, you know when you grow up with a family, they're not actually cousins, so they might as well be. They got married.
Every Kiwi ever?
Yeah, literally. So, yeah, they got married and I was quite drunk and I stole a bouquet. Classic. I'm a little bit of a – what's the word for that when you steal stuff?
Piece of shit? No.
Yeah, that's me.
Like I don't know which word you're looking for, but like adrenaline junkie or
Nah, it's like a crypto or something like that. Do you know what I mean? When,
yeah.
Anyways, once I've had a few drinks, I'll steal like a salt and pepper shaker or
do
you know what I mean?
Out.
Heaps of like pint glasses and mismatchy kind of stuff in my house.
Yep.
Nothing significant ever, just weird shit that I guess no one would miss, I hope.
Yep.
But yeah, stole a bouquet, felt really guilty about it the next day with the anxiety. decided I would like press the flowers and then give it back in frames as like a gift. And I was like, that fully rectifies my drunken
You're like, I was just
mistakes.
taking it to give it back as a gift. Like,
sorry to the bridesmaid whose bouquet that was, who was apparently quite upset about it, but that's fine. But anyways, that's where it kind of started, I guess. And then from there, I did a couple of courses with, there's this girl, Claire, who's the best. She's the flower girl Perth. She does like heaps of weddings. She specialises in dried flowers and that kind of thing. So I did a couple of her courses and I was just absolutely hooked after that. And so, friends and family and stuff, I do like little special orders for Valentine's Day or that kind of thing. I've done a couple of commissions for after someone's wedding, I'll take their bouquet and I'll dry it out all properly and then I'll put it into an actual arrangement, or I'll do it in little keepsake frames and give it back to them. Just do all that kind of stuff on the side now, I guess.
Is the idea of drying them out so that like you can just keep them forever and you don't have to keep watering them?
Yeah, pretty much. So they don't go moldy and gross. They hold their colour a lot nicer, and then it's like a really beautiful keepsake because you spend thousands of dollars on flowers for your wedding and then it's one day and then they get chucked out. So it's, do you know what I mean? Especially just seems like a bit of a waste of money. How nice that you get to keep that and have it up in your house as a display of the day and how much money you fucking spend.
Can imagine that. Real quick then.
Yes.
Top 3 favourite flowers and then one that is incredibly overrated and you're not a fan of.
There's 2 things that I see from this. Like tattoo side, like drawing wise.
I mean, someone
like
gives you the flowers. What are the 3 that you're hoping for?
I love chrysanthemums. They're really beautiful. Also good to tattoo as well. Really fun. The little like fingery guys.
I literally only know what they are because of tattoos.
Yes,
so I've never actually
cute.
seen one in real life.
You can get a bunch of different variations of them, but they're like cool, especially when they're like a little bit more bulby and you can get a bunch of fun colours and stuff. They're really neat. I really love oriental lilies specifically. They're like, you've probably seen the like standard white ones before.
I don't know flower types very well, but I know that my missus is allergic to lilies.
Yes, heaps of cats and are as well. They're not the most popular, but the oriental ones specifically have like a nice pink tone to them and they're like a little bit wavy and they smell gorgeous. And it's more so the smell than anything that I fucking love. And third, three types of things is tricky, I feel.
I asked the tough questions here.
Yeah, it's rough. I'll probably go for like an Australian native, maybe like the native holly, like the like little tiny yellow bulby guys. Looks kind of like,
are they the ones
like
that
little
like
tiny pom-poms?
Are they the ones that bees land on, or is that something else?
Bees land on every flower.
This is true. I'm not a florist, sorry. I didn't go to flower school.
It's fine.
They're not the ones that like blow off in the wind and stuff, are they? That every
You're
white
thinking
woman.
of dandelions.
That's the one, yeah.
They kind of look like dandelions, I guess.
Okay. We'll have to look them up when we have a break.
They're really cute. I'm sure bees would love to land on them.
Okay, nice. And then what's one flower that everyone loves that you think is overrated?
Orchids.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do they look like? I know the name.
They look like little snapdragon-y kind of dudes. They're like 2 petals, 1 petal, and then like a little mouth. And you can get them at Coles and stuff all the time. I mean, they look pretty cool, but trying to keep them alive, like someone will get it for you as a gift, they're the fucking worst. Okay. Yeah. And
then obviously your favourite flower to draw.
Yes.
Roses, obviously, everyone's favourite.
Go
really well with a pocket watch or a lion.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, always the best kind.
Triggered.
I do like roses.
Yes.
And I normally get them for my missus purely because I don't know flowers well enough. So when there's like an assortment at Coles and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'll get her some flowers. I'm like,
nice.
I don't know which ones are lilies. I'm like, I don't know which ones are lilies, so I'm just going to go roses because I know that they're not lilies.
She's not allergic to a rose.
Exactly. She's a little bit sick of roses now, but is what it is, I guess.
Either way, I think the intention of giving flowers will forever be such a wholesome thing. So as long as she's not allergic to it, I'm sure the intention is appreciated. Although,
have a little beef with her about flowers.
Yes.
I've been saying since we got together that I've I love flowers.
Yeah. She's never bought you.
I've never received flowers from anyone.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to get me flowers, by all means, I don't care what flowers they are. I just want flowers, bro. And every time she's like, guys don't like flowers. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now that I do like flowers and I want some.
Yes.
And she's like, okay, I'll get some. And then she forgets. And then she's like, guys don't like flowers. And then that's it.
Very inconsiderate.
I know.
I'm calling her out right now.
Yeah,
I'll
do
message
it.
her after this.
Yeah, and then she actually might do it because she'll listen to you more than she'll listen to me.
She
so.
can come and buy a dried arrangement from me and gift it to you, and we'll go full circle.
Exactly.
And then it'll never die.
But then the problem is she's going to give it to me and be like, I got this for you. And I'll be like, you got it from Taz, didn't you?
Set up.
Yeah, exactly. I know she didn't fucking think of that. That was all Taz.
Yeah. There's been a couple occasions where it's been like a friend's going away or stuff like that where I've bought a guy flowers and they've been so chuffed. And that the act of giving it is so much nicer than actually receiving it, even though you know it's going to be there for like 2 days or whatever and it's probably going to die. For those 2 days you go into your kitchen and you're like, oh, that was so sweet.
Oh, yeah. If someone got me flowers, I wouldn't know what I'm going to do with them.
No.
But I just want to get the flowers. I just want them. That's it.
Yeah.
So I like roses. I don't really know. I don't know enough about flowers to tell you what other flowers I like. But I don't dislike any flowers enough to say don't get me them. So
yeah, okay.
That's okay.
Could you name it your most hated if you...
Actually, roses, does that count as a flower or is that a plant? Are plants and flowers the same thing, or are all flowers plants but not all plants are flowers? Is a
That's scrambled my brain.
Is a
once cut off of the plant, would it then be no?
A plant can flower, but a flower can't plant.
Exactly. Yes.
See, there we go. But not all plants can flower, or can they all flower? Is a plant turning into a tree a plant flowering?
That's a nice.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? I love what are they called? The flytraps, Venus flytraps.
Oh yeah,
are they flowers or are they plants?
I'd say that's a plant.
Fuck.
But
okay.
I think they flower. Because isn't the little trappy dude itself would be the flower of that plant? Do you know what I mean? Because even there's like some very funny videos out there of. Do you know the Monstera houseplants?
No, what's that?
Oh, you'd know it if you saw it.
Okay.
I don't even know how to describe these things. I was not prepared to.
You're on the spot now. You better start.
They're like big leafy boy. It's got like a bunch of little holes in it. Oh, no, that sounds too much like a Swiss cheese. There's too many.
It's like Swiss cheese, but it's on a branch.
It's not actually a dairy product.
Okay.
But they flower, and it's quite funny because it's a very phallus-looking situation.
Nice, I love it already.
If you want to pollinate it, you literally have to somewhat jerk it off with like a different type of pollen.
And where can I buy these? That's insane.
Yeah.
Plants are weird.
Plants are fucking weird.
They are.
They're pretty prehistoric, so that's...
Even the fact that they're alive, I'm like, that's odd.
I mean, think of how many pets that you have at home
I
that
know.
are actually plants.
It's odd. Like, how many pets do you have? Like 4,026?
Actually?
Not my garden, I don't know.
Yeah, fair.
No idea. Plants are cool though. Like I love watching the TikToks where people get like a seed and then they watch it. They do a time lapse of it.
Yeah, gorgeous.
So cool.
Yeah,
and I keep telling my missus, I'm like, I really want to do that. She's like, why? I'm like, I just want to. Hey, I just want to see what happens.
Yeah,
like,
what they do during the day.
Yeah, and I was even thinking like do like a high school science experiment, like get 3 of them.
Yeah.
Give one of them just water, one of them like.
Sing to one of them.
Yeah, cordial.
Only give one Coke.
Yeah. Give one creatine and it just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, wonder what would happen.
But that whole thing where it's like in the see-through plastic and you can see like it's little Rudy boys who's growing better or whatever. I think it's very nostalgic of, what is it? Animal Planet? National Planet? What's the TV show?
Like the David Attenborough one or National Geographic?
Yes, I think that's where the time lapse.
There is also Animal Planet as well, I'm pretty sure. I think that's a show as well.
There as well.
Yeah, I mean they're animals, are they? Man, this is just full circle.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. I love flowers. Someone get me flowers. Back to that. Yeah, cool. And I was also thinking, what was the flower you said you like, the tattoo one?
Chrysanthemum.
Yes. I remember when I worked FIFO, my missus said her favourite type of flower was, I can't remember what they're called. It's not that, but it's CH something or CR something. They're like the little flowery boys, like very fine things with
CR something.
Because I thought it was. Hold on, wait. What are the ones that you draw?
Chrysanthemum, which is like almost spells like cry mum. Like it's quite a big word.
Because she liked these flowers, and I knew that, and I was FIFO and I was trying to find a place that sold them.
Yes.
And so frantic, typing away and everything, I was like,
was not the
she
right
got
thing.
them, and it was those ones, the tattoo ones.
Yeah.
And then like she got them. She was like, "Oh my God, I love my flowers." And then I was like, "Yeah." You're like, do you notice like the type that I got? And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Your favorite?" She was like, "These aren't my favorite." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "These are my favorite." And I was like,
it's the thought that counts.
"Fuck!" And as soon as she said it, I was like, I knew that wasn't. What are they called?
But there is different types of them. So maybe it was just a different looking version of the one that she liked.
Those ones are like bigger kind of ones, hey? Like, how big are the flowers on them?
It depends on the type.
How big are the smallest ones?
Like that big?
Okay. Because like you can,
Seething.
you can get the ones that she likes, you can get them at Coles. They're with the roses and everything.
They're not like peonies or something.
Nah.
They're definitely.
Maybe that's the flower I'm thinking of, and you've got the right one. I don't fucking know, but there's two that sound very similar, and she likes one and is okay with the other one.
I mean, either way, you still got some nice flowers, so appreciative.
I'm gonna go look back, and I'm gonna put a picture and the name of the flower right
comparison.
Here.
I'd like to know if you could.
In the
please.
break, I'll go and look.
Thank you.
Because fuck, this is gonna do everything else we're gonna say during this podcast. I'm gonna be like, what's the fucking flower? What is it?
Be here for an hour, and then you'll be like,
yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'll try to think of it, but that's okay. I feel like I'm more and more thinking that might be the flower that she does like.
I've convinced you now. It's an Inception situation, and now you
gaslight.
Yeah.
That's all right. And then the other thing was your relationship with your dad, because he kind of was artsy and got you into art a little bit. Is that right? And he used to make you Zelda fucking weapons and stuff.
Cool shit. Very cool shit.
Nice.
Dad was like the sickest carpenter ever. A lot of the furniture I have at my house now is like hand-me-downs of stuff that he made.
Hey, my dad's also a carpenter, so that's just that's it.
My dad could beat your dad in a fight.
In a carpentry battle. It's just your dad, my dad, and Jesus, the three best carpenters of all time.
Ever.
Yeah. Rank them.
But yeah, it was really neat because we grew up like up near Moore River, so we were like quite segregated from the world, I guess. I've got a really good relationship with my two older brothers.
Okay.
So yeah, there was a lot of sword fights in the backyard, that's for sure. And it was like,
what kind of sword fights? Your brothers having sword fight?
crossing swords.
Yeah.
But it would be like, I don't know, we'd go and fight some magpies in the back paddock, and yeah, we'd be playing Zelda or whatever at the time, or a lot of Super Smash Bros, that kind of thing.
Nice.
And it'd be like, oh yeah, Zelda's got this, or Link's got this sick sword. So Dad would make it out of wood for you, and that would be your weapon of choice to fight the magpies in the back paddock or stuff like that. Yeah,
nice.
It was really cool.
Did you ever like paint them and everything as well?
Oh, fully.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
fully. It was like an arts and craft
Okay.
situation as well. But
Okay.
yeah, more so for the like absolutely walloping each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have to. I mean, that was like me with wrestling when I was little. Like my dad, he used to like cut out the wrestling belts and everything, and obviously they're
that's
wood,
very
so they
sweet.
don't go around your waist,
But
but
it's
just like
the
holding
whole
them
imagination
up.
of it. It's like, amazing.
So
hey?
good.
Yeah.
So good. Who had the best weapons? Was it you or your brothers?
I'm going to say my brothers did, but they were shared. We were good like that,
Okay.
I feel. Trying to even think of like ones other that we were made, but yeah, it's probably saying it out loud now. You're like, that's pretty risky business, like making an actual sword out of wood for your child. Yeah.
I specifically remember when I was quite young, loving wrestling. My woodwork project that I decided to do was because in WWE they like used like baseball bats that had like nails in them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like got this like long piece of wood and just started like putting nails in it and shit. And I was like working on it at lunchtime, and someone was like, "What are you making?" And I'm like, "Oh,
thing from WWE.
baseball bat with nails in it." And they're like, "What?"
Sus.
And I was like, "No, I'm not going to use it. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to make
display
it."
purposes
And they're like, "Oh, okay, teacher." Fuck. Yeah. And the teacher was like, "You can't take this home." Yeah, I got snitched on. Couldn't even take it home. Couldn't even use it on my mates or anything. Ridiculous.
Do you remember who it was that snitched you in?
I think so.
Look him as an adult. See if there's still snitch these days.
I would say his name, but now that I think of it, I'm pretty sure I have recently met someone who has the same name.
Oh,
so I don't want him to
that's fair.
get shit on.
That's
So
very
I won't
fair.
say his name, but his initials are DJ. So,
Fuck.
and he's got the same first name as my dad. So if anyone wants to go do the investigating, fucking go for your life.
Yeah, but I don't forgive him.
Yeah, no, that's dog move.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't going to use it. I wasn't that stupid. I wasn't that young where I was going to use it.
No.
But I wanted to be able to like
even at the
pretend
time-
to use it.
Yeah, you're not even thinking about, oh yeah, I'm actually going to bash someone with this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, iconic,
Yeah.
so cool, I want this.
Yeah.
And that was stripped from you.
Exactly.
Terrible.
Like me and my mates, we always used to like play on the trampoline and like get the cushions and wrestle them and everything.
Yeah.
And
Classic.
we'd even like stand on the edge of the trampoline, like pretend to hit each other, and we'd like fall off the ring and like through a table that was a cardboard box and stuff. I'm like, we're not getting at a real table. We're not
No.
that stupid. We're pretty
No.
stupid, but
No.
not that bad. I used to jump off the roof onto the trampoline. So
Oh,
like,
who didn't? Is
I
that
know,
not classic
I know.
childhood? If you
I
didn't
tell
get on
people
the
that and
fucking
they're
roof?
like, and I'm like,
It's the best. You
I
have
never
to
got
get
hurt,
on the
never
roof.
broke a bone. So
No,
I'm
it was
good.
threatened for sure,
Absolutely.
but got on the roof a
Yep.
lot. And it would be funny, especially with two older brothers, you'd be sitting in the lounge room watching TV and you would hear the like
Yeah.
on the roof and you're like,
"Ah."
someone's up there.
The crowd comes out, the crowd goes wild. Nice, yeah, I like that. Yeah, reminiscing on childhood weapons that should not have been used, made out of wood by our parents.
The best.
Fucking love that,
Really
hey?
creative. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And like, yeah, massive props to my dad for like actually making that stuff.
Yeah,
But also like my mum for being nice enough to allow us to do that. Do you know what I mean?
my mum hated that I did all of that stuff, but yeah, I'm happy for your mum letting you do that. Yeah.
Letting us have creative
yeah,
imaginations.
yeah,
Definitely
that's
would
nice.
not have started tattooing
No.
if she did not allow us to
Yeah.
beat each other up as
Exactly.
children. Yeah.
Started with painting a fake sword, and then now you're drawing on people. So
Yeah.
fucking stole some flowers somewhere in the middle, but that's all right. Are you still close with your brothers and family and all that?
Definitely. Yeah, I saw both of my brothers today, actually.
That's right, you said that, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's funny. Like when you get out of your like kind of prepubescent era, like we were all living together at one point in time. Just because we lived so far away, we then moved out to almost like a share house for the three of us after school, so that we could work jobs in suburbia, etc., and not have to drive all the way down to Moore River again because there was no public transport there, etc. At that point in time, and I was still getting my license and stuff. When we lived together, oh, I fucking hated them. Like, just the irks of, it would be the same with any kind of share house situation.
Yeah.
Like, people are a bit grubby, like that kind of thing.
Don't wash up. And all that.
Mate,
Yeah.
we did not get along. But after we all lived in our own separate houses, I was like,
hey, I miss you.
I love these guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you get older, it's like even more so like my best mates. Do you know what I mean? You're all different versions of each other.
Yeah.
So you just, can just be absolute idiots together and
Nice.
it's accepted.
Are either of them involved in like the art kind of scene at all? Or?
I feel like my whole life has somewhat been fueled by spite, with wanting to not be better than, but we have a very healthy competition between me and my siblings when it comes to maybe everything.
You need that.
Yeah, and it's really put me in a nice trajectory in life. I feel my oldest brother Connor had always been so good at drawing, like literally like super fine line, like full-blown orcs and stuff like that. Like he would do these crazy, more like kind of comic-based drawing, I guess, but it was like crazy detailed, really like, gory, like dude ripping a pig apart or like, do you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was like 12. Do you know what I mean? And it was insane. Like, looking back at stuff from our old house now and finding some of his drawings, I'm like, I genuinely think him at 12 is better than me now, maybe.
Talented fella.
So, yeah, very arty. And then Reese, my other brother, who's 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
So Connor's 4 years, Reese is 2 years.
Okay.
And then there's me. He can play like any instrument under the sun, is like very musically talented, musically gifted. Yeah.
What instrument does he play?
Everything.
Is he in a band or something?
He does his own kind of like solo EP kind of stuff now. I don't think he's actually released anything, but he's still like he's a music teacher at a primary school now.
Oh, nice.
Which he only started doing maybe not even a year ago now. Like literally finished uni, got a job straight off the bat.
Nice.
But like literally today he was playing a trombone that I think he picked up from Marketplace. He started off on the drums and then guitar, harmonica, like literally fucking anything. Like Dad gave him a banjo at one point in time.
I don't get people that have that talent.
It blows
doesn't
my mind.
make sense.
No, rhythmically blessed, I'd say.
Yeah.
But it's actually really funny because anytime I go on any kind of holiday now, his request is a stupid little instrument. So like we did a little Euro trip last year and I got him like a tiny little mandolin situation from like Prague, and it's like some random street dealer selling things. I went to Thailand couple months back to train Muay Thai over there, and I got him like a dumb little drum that you know what I mean?
That's sick.
Yeah, stuff like that.
What's his favourite one that you've ever got him? Or what's your favourite one that you've ever got him? Whatever way you want to look at it.
This is a bit of a touchy subject.
Okay.
I got him this little, I don't actually know what it's called, but it's like one of those pan flute things, and it's like a bunch of holes on it, and you breathe in and you move it, and it makes like different noises or whatever, or however you hold it will be different sounds.
Yeah.
I got it in, I think it was in Prague maybe? I don't know, somewhere in the Euro.
Okay.
And there was days of like, first day we got there, there was like a street dude playing the instrument and selling it, and I hadn't gotten any cash out yet.
Okay.
And I was like, fuck, I really need to go back and buy this little instrument for him because that is such a fun, stupid little instrument. And then when we came back to the bridge, he was gone. And I was like, so for the next like 3 days that we were there, we went over this bridge like 1,000 times. We were asking around like, where is this stupid little flute man, right? Left, and friends of ours stayed for one extra day. And on that day, they went over the bridge and the little flute man was there. So they graciously bought the little pan flute for me.
Nice.
So got it eventually, and it was like ceramic. There was like a funny little face on it. Yeah, stunning.
Nice.
He loved it. I was very excited to gift it to him. He brought it into his class.
I swear to God. If I have to go fight a kid, what are you about to say?
No, so he brought it into class and he was like showing it off and was like, my sister got this from Europe, like da-da-da, and he drops it and it smashes because it was ceramic. And literally one of the kids was like, is your sister going to be mad? And he was like,
are you mad?
Oh, yeah, man. So much effort. But I've learnt now I'm literally just getting like tacky, stupid little instruments. I'm not going to like, it wasn't even that expensive, but it was more like the hilarious effort that went to, and then he finally brought it into class to like show it off, and then within X amount of minutes, like, do you know what I mean?
And I can just imagine him just like trying to keep it together in front of a bunch of little kids like,
he was like, no, it's fine. She's fine with that. But he was, I wouldn't say scared to tell me, but he was like upset to tell me.
Yeah.
And then I was upset to tell my friend who got it on the last day for that as well. But
well, if I ever go to Prague, I'll keep my eye out.
Thank you so much. I'd really appreciate it.
I've been to Prague once before, but I never noticed a tiny little.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I get another one, I'll probably keep it for myself.
Good call.
He can borrow it on occasion.
Not take it into class though.
No, never.
Never. I love tacky little stuff like that. Not, not
best.
instruments, but
Yes.
I love stuff like that. It's so much better than like, here's a massive thing
Oh,
for you. I'm
fully.
like, just get me like a stupid keychain or something. I
Yeah,
don't care.
and then it's kind of like a nice, like I have a really dumb thing where whenever a friend goes on a holiday, I request the tackiest fridge magnet possible.
Nice.
And our fridge is just covered in, and it's funny because like friends come over and they're like, wow, you're so well travelled. And I'm like, no, I've never been to any of these places.
You should have told me this before we did the podcast, because I would have brought
More
you back.
tacky fridge magnet
Melbourne.
from Melbourne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. You know what would have been perfect is, for some reason, all of the like, what are they called? Like the Australiana shops and everything.
So funny. Yeah.
All of the magnets said I Heart Sydney. And I was like, we're in Melbourne.
We're in
Why?
Melbourne.
Why the fuck is
Was
that?
it at the airport or
No.
like actually in?
Like in Melbourne.
That's hilarious.
Like on like
Even
Flinders
people
Street
from
and shit.
Melbourne are supporting.
Yeah, I was like, what? Why is there so much I Heart Sydney
It's
things?
a tourist trap.
Yeah, I was just getting stuff for like my workmates and everything, and it's just I Heart Sydney, and I was like,
Where'd you go?
what the fuck? I've never been to Sydney. Yeah, but yeah, I did the same thing. Like I got from the Queen Victoria markets. I got
Yes.
my work bestie. She always sends me, I don't know why I started. She always sends me reels on Instagram of monkeys.
Yeah, good.
Just like baby monkeys, because
Why
we
not?
both love monkeys. but-
Cute or funny? Like, what's the
Both.
What are they doing?
Both. Like some of them's like them in a jacket. Some of them's like riding a dog.
Yeah, okay.
Some of them's just them just hanging out.
Very
it's just
good, very
like
good.
20 a day sometimes. It's just insane.
The
so,
algorithm is specifically
yeah.
monkey oriented
Yeah,
now.
I think so.
Yeah,
So she always sends them to me, and I was walking past and there was a little shop that had like keychains.
Yes.
And one of them was
Little
one of them was like a little like knitted like monkey holding a banana.
gorgeous.
So I was like,
Got it?
went to get
Surely.
it. It was $25 and it was like this big. And then I saw a Charizard one,
Yes.
which my partner loves. And I was like, if I get two, can you give me like a discount? And
Yes.
she was like, nah, because we hand make them. And I was like, you do not fucking hand make them. I've seen these on like Temu, AliExpress, everything. But I was like, so I like put it back, and then I was walking away, and I was like, if
They
I
run
don't,
after
if
you,
I
or
don't
did you just
get it,
console over the top of it.
but I was like, if I don't get it, all I'm going to be thinking about is that I should have
Just
got
a
it.
little
So I just
monkey.
got it. But
Yeah. Did you get the Charizard and the little monkey?
no, and the little monkey. I got a bunch of stuff for Mrs. I went to Cheap and spent like $90 for her, because all the Cheaps are shutting down. So
Are they? Are they in Perth at all anymore?
no, they're all gone. I'm pretty sure there might be one left, but yeah, in Melbourne, there's
okay.
one on Flinders Street, I think.
Yeah.
So I went there
Are
because it was
they
just down the
still
road.
cheap?
Very cheap. It was like 90% off across
Oh,
the whole
that's
shop.
lovely.
And they're closing down in like 2 weeks. So lucky I was there.
Yeah.
But I got her a bunch of stuff, so she didn't need that. And I got her some stuff from the markets as well. And one of them I definitely paid for, like you did with the flowers, right?
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
You're like,
I mean, it was this big. It was worth about $1, and the
Yeah.
price tag on it was $12.
Oh.
And the guy was like sitting behind like a little wall thing.
was it?
It's a little like ceramic. Well, not even. It's meant to be crystal. It's not crystal. It's like
Okay.
fucking ceramic.
Yeah.
A little black cat, and we've got a black cat.
Cute.
And there was like a bunch of them, different colors, and there was
Yeah.
one black cat, and there was like a little thing, and they were $12 each. And I was like,
That's painful.
no way. So I was just like,
This
well,
guy isn't like harvesting them himself and then
no.
like soldering them down
exactly.
to make sure
I
they're
was like, no.
gorgeously.
If it was like $2, I would have happily paid for it.
Yes.
All that, but I was like, 12. I was like, I've spent like $150 at the markets here.
Yeah.
Also at this guy's fucking stand, I bought other
okay.
stuff. So
This
I was
is-
like,
you just claimed your own
exactly.
tip on top
So
of
I was
everything you've bought.
yeah.
anyway.
So I was just like carrying all my bags, and I was like,
Thank
I was like,
you.
oh, and just like, what's this one over here? And I was like, oh, someone's calling me. Just hide it in the palm. So yeah, I don't steal.
Hot
Do not.
tips on.
Yeah, if it's big enough to put in your palm, then you can.
It's free.
You can get away with it with no harm. I like that.
There's
We'll use
always that debate on like selling crystals, etc. Like I've seen them at the Freo markets and stuff all the time when people are like, "This came from the earth. It's not yours to take to sell, anyways."
Mm. That's a tricky one, because you can say that about anything.
Yeah, I
But
just
then-
should start stealing all of my fruits and vegetables
Do
from Coles, Woolworths,
Yeah,
etc.
exactly.
Because
Came
from the ground,
exactly,
man. It's
exactly.
mine.
Yeah. What else came from the ground? Flowers. Do they come from the ground, or do they come from a seed that came?
This is full circle.
Damn crazy. But no, I did spend money at that guy's stall.
Okay.
It's just that
Yeah.
on top of it, I was like, I'm
You
not
don't
paying
have
an
to
extra
justify it,
$12.
so it's
I am though, because otherwise someone's going to wrap me out like DJ did.
Klepto. I think that's the word when you steal stuff. I said crypto before, but that's a currency.
Crypto.com, yes.
Kleptomaniac.
Yes, that sounds right.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Yeah. But
Everyone's a little bit of a klepto.
you do get a bit of an adrenaline rush though. I was kind of like with adrenaline junkie, like
This tiny little black
yeah.
stone.
Well, that I didn't, but I do know of someone that like when they go to Coles and Woolies and stuff,
we'll snatch stuff.
but not even snatch. It's fucking sneaky. I've been with them,
Yeah,
and they were
okay.
like getting stuff to make a salad or something like that, and they were getting all the ingredients, and they needed basil, but the
Yeah.
only thing there was like a big thing of basil. They were like, I need this
the
much.
actual pot where you have
Yeah.
to grow your own,
Yeah.
and it never grows back after
Yeah.
you clip it.
So she just goes up and just she just like rips off a couple of leaves and just in the pocket. And I was like, smart.
yeah,
Smart. I
Very
like
smart.
that. And I don't condone stealing, but if
No.
someone were to do it at Coles or Woolies, I would not say anything because
Do you
fuck
ever
Coles
like
and Woolies.
eat a little piece of candy from the pick and mix when you
I was talking about that
bag
to my
together?
workmates the other day, and I was like, not a bad idea.
try it before you buy it? Have a
No
little
different.
snack.
No different to the grapes situation.
Test out the grape before you're buying it.
Exactly.
Because I swear half the time it says that they're seedless, and then you get them home after paying $25 for a thing of grapes, and they're actually full of seeds.
Because even one of my workmates, we were talking about this, and she's too nice. She's like I can't steal anything. I can't like be false or anything.
Yeah.
And she was like, even with what was it? She was talking about weighing something, and like she went to go get something
And, like,
that had been
clicked the wrong item or
yeah,
something,
and then she
or-
she went back and paid for it, like to make sure
That's ridiculous.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's like getting grapes and like you test a couple before you buy them,
Yeah.
going to pay for them, being like, hold on, going back and grabbing a couple extra grapes and putting
Just
them
adding
in,
it on the scale to make
pay
sure
for
you're
it,
paying
and
an
then
extra
take the
20
grapes
cents.
back. Like, I'm like, it's not worth it.
But in the grand scheme of things, are those people going to heaven and we're fucking ourselves over? Do you know what I mean?
Mate, I'm well away from going to heaven.
If that's
like,
the ledger of
exactly.
what tips
Yeah.
the scale,
Yeah.
then there's no way.
I am gone. I've been gone for years. 4 years. I mean, I've got tattoos. Cool. I'll let you go soon, but we'll do some rapid fire questions and a would you rather that I'm still trying to think of the second half of, but that's okay. First question. I know that you're big into conspiracy theories. So
Sort of.
you're big into conspiracy theories.
Surface level conspiracy.
Uh-huh. What's a conspiracy theory that you completely believe?
Look, I'm going to scratch out the completely believe.
Mm.
Look, I'm just optimistic. Like, I'm...
I mean, Ruby on the last podcast said that the moon isn't real.
What?
So by all means, like,
What,
just
did
go
she say
for
what
it.
she thinks it is?
We actually
I'll
never got to
listen.
that. We never got to that,
I'll have to
unfortunately. But she said that she doesn't believe in the moon. And I'm like, moon landing is one thing. The moon, that's a fucking whole
Moon
nother
itself.
thing.
It's there.
Yeah, I know. Look at it. It's green screen. So yeah, it can be anything.
Very surface level for like a plethora of things. Do you
Okay.
know what I mean? I haven't like divulged, like deep dived into anything enough to be like, oh man, this fucking da, da, da.
Okay.
I do love the classic lizard people scenario.
True.
Yeah, always a good one. It all stems from, this is quite funny. I had this eyelash lady, so I used to get my lashes done a hot minute ago for a few years in a row, and she was cooked. And the funny thing was, it like progressively she opened up to being crazier and crazier, like the longer I went and saw her. But you're trapped. So you go there, you're laying down in a small room with your eyes closed for like up to 3 hours, depending on what kind of lashes you're getting done. And you just got to lay there with your eyes closed and they just talk to you or whatever. And it started off really chill. This is a conspiracy theory in itself.
Okay.
She might as well
Okay.
be a lizard person.
Okay.
She
Maybe
might.
she is.
She might.
Maybe.
Yeah. But it started off with like, she would be listening to a podcast and it would be like a true crimey situation. And I'm like, yeah, I'm into that. That's fine. And she'd be like, oh, do you mind if I play this while we continue? And I'm like, yeah, no worries. So we don't have to chat for 3 hours. And then it moved up to, she was listening to a pretty spicy romance novel
Nice.
in an audiobook and
Okay.
was like, oh, do you mind if I finish this chapter? And it was wildly inappropriate.
I love that.
And I was laying there like, oh, no, this is actually happening, like full blown. And then after that, progressed to, it was one of those wacky, like, she was very cherry picky with information. Do you know what I mean? And it would be like the YouTube videos of like some dude in America who's a bit cracked out that's like fucking wah. And she just would listen to like, I don't know, 10 seconds of it and then pause it and then relay the information to me as if I'd never heard it before and kind of come up with her own stuff behind it. And she was big on the like 3G towers getting installed around the northern suburbs, which were trying to intercept, you know, inception thoughts into your brain.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Tinfoil on the windows, like that kind of scenario. There's like the whole mole people thing, which was very much
I've heard of that. I don't know
like
anything about it, but yeah.
type situations. Yep. That's pretty fun. But yeah, I reckon lizard people is my absolute favorite. You just get those videos every now and then when it's like lizard person spotted and it's like a slightly, I don't know, someone's arm is slightly blurred and they're like, they're showing their scales. Like, I think more so I love people getting crazy involved in conspiracy theories and being like, this is it, this is the be all or end all, rather than,
it's like the lady that was like the video of her on the plane and she's like, the person over there isn't real, and like apparently she saw the person like blinking that way and all that.
Yeah, I throw off it. It's the best.
What do you think she saw?
Oh, I can't help but think of that Simpsons episode where it's like the little demon thing on the wing of the plane. Yes, that's what I straight away go to with any kind of aeroplane-y situations. Maybe it was a lizard person. Maybe they did blink with their third eye or something. You know?
Who knows? Maybe it was Scooby-Doo and the disguise on their aeroplane, like that meme and everything.
It's like ripped its face off.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? Lizard people, I like it. Most people normally go to like American politicians for that shit.
Oh, fully. Yeah. People will say Trump's a lizard person. Well, it's supposed to be, I forget the dude's name. It's like something Kent, or I don't want to misquote it. But
Sick Kent.
Yes, Sick Kent. He didn't like invent the theory, but like really put it out there. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And it was like the lizards people are supposed to be disguising themselves as politicians or whatever because they want to mess with like society from the inside. Do you know what I mean? So like Trump would probably be a pretty classic lizard person because of the shit he does.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyone who's
Makes sense.
wild, probably lizard.
Makes sense. Yeah. Take it. Carpenters are lizards.
Big lizards.
Yeah, big time. Who's an artist or tattoo artist that has inspired your art style?
That's a good one. Also, I'm like, I could go down tattoo route or like
completely up to you.
Actual artist wise,
because tattoo artists aren't real artists. So.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like, I think of like, you know, people always go to like Hokusai and stuff like that, who are like very globally known as artists. I love Alphonse Mucha. He's the guy who did like the OG absinthe bottles and stuff like that. And it's like the gorgeous ladies and it's got like filigree and stuff in the background and it was kind of like quote unquote like the first kind of advertising. Do you know what I mean? Where like nowadays, I don't know, you get fucking Kim K and she's...
Who's Kim K?
I have no idea. She's posing for whatever and it's an ad for skins.
Yeah.
Whereas like that wasn't a thing back in like the 50s, 60s, whatever. So it would be like him drawing the most gorgeous woman and she's holding the Skims logo or like fucking whatever, that kind of stuff.
What era was that, roughly? Like 1400s, 1800s, late 1990s, early 2000s?
Oh, definitely not early 2000s. I'm going to say like 50s.
Okay. 1950s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wild guess.
Okay.
They have like a museum for him he died in Prague. He wasn't born in Prague, but
back to Prague.
I know. I fucking love Prague.
Welcome back to the Prague episode.
Yes. We'll wear some little hats.
Yeah. Good idea. And then tattoo artists that have inspired?
Tattoo artists, my dear friend Talia, Tallulah Bear, she's retired now, but she was like me as a wee baby. She was good friends with my oldest brother. She was the first person I ever knew that tattooed as a job. And I've got some of her like OG kind of style. As her style developed, the longer she was tattooing for. She started tattooing when she was quite young as well. I'm going to say like 18 or 19. Like she was doing apprenticeships for a hot minute. But she did like the classic, like quite thick neo trad, where it's like, it's still trad, but it's got like the more color elements and that kind of stuff, and like the composition of like neo-trad, like again, beautiful ladies holding things, just being gorgeous. And yeah, that kind of style was like fully what got me into tattooing in general, let alone like what I love doing stuff like that now, and that's always been the goal.
Yeah.
She's just an incredible, not only human being, but also artist in general. Yeah.
I feel like I have heard of her name before. I've never met her, but I'm pretty sure I've heard of her before, but I had no idea she was retired.
She's the best. Yeah, she is doing
floristry now.
She's doing like sports sciencey.
Oh,
I know
nice.
she was doing like remedial massagey kind of stuff.
Cool.
So she's probably realised there's so many cooked bodies in the tattooing industry that now she's going to save all of us. She's just 12
Save
steps
everyone's
ahead.
spine. Nice.
Yeah, she's the prawn queen.
I love that. Yeah, neo-trad is one of those styles where like I don't have any colour on me.
Yeah.
But if I were to, I would love to get neo-trad because it looks so
Get a black and
fucking
grey
cool.
neo-trad if you want.
But like
But like the
neo-trad,
classic. Yeah, the
if I
classic style
don't
of
know.
it.
Sometimes I wish I could be covered in neo-trad and just have it be colourful,
Yes.
just for like a week,
Yeah.
just so I can see, and then go back
Put
to
a
black and
filter on
grey.
it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Just
I mean,
coated in with some permanent marker
Yeah.
every day for like a week.
I mean, like it because it's the same as there's some colour artists in Perth that I'm
Yes.
just like
I love
blow
that,
my
but I would
fucking
hate
mind.
to ask them to do black
Yeah,
and grey.
exactly.
Or, yeah, I have the opposite where
Yeah.
there's some black and grey artists that I fucking love, but I'd be like, can you just put a little bit of red in there?
Just
matches
blue in the
for me."
eyes of the wolf if you could. Yeah, because like even Jackson May from I don't know where he's at now, but he was Youngbloods. He might still be Youngbloods. I'm not sure, but he's one of the most insane artists that I've ever seen in my life. Not even just Perth, just insane.
general.
But like looking at his work and it just looks like a painting or like a photo or something. But I'm like, I don't know how I could admire that, but also say I would never want to wear that because I don't want colour.
yeah.
But it's just looking at it, I'm like, how does someone even learn to do that?
Oh, it's insane.
I
When
don't
stuff
get it.
genuinely looks like
Yeah.
oil paintings, like it's
Madness.
yeah, that level of tattooing is purely its peak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool.
Goals.
So cool. I can draw a stick figure, so same thing pretty much.
I'll
Yeah.
give you an apprenticeship,
Yeah.
no worries.
Fuck yeah. No, you'll knock me back like someone else did to you. Just laugh you out of the studio.
It's fine.
If you're having a dinner party and you can invite 3 guests, dead or alive, fictional or non-fictional, who are you inviting? And I will say, I use the word guests
Yes.
very loosely. You can invite like the cast of a TV show as one guest, but it has to be the whole cast. It can't be this person, and this person.
That's too
Just-
much. Nah, I'm not including
It can be it can be a band. It has to be the whole band.
Oh my
Get what I mean?
God.
Like 3
Yeah.
items of people. We'll
See,
go
the
with
thing
that.
I go to for this is like, so you want to have a fun dinner party.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you kind of want to hit all bases of like, this is a super smart person. So you'd say like, oh, I want Gandhi or the Dalai Lama
Yeah.
or something like that. And then you'd be like, oh, but are they going to be fun? Or I want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I don't want to just have a bunch of funny people and then they'll all probably start making fun of me and
Yeah.
gang up on me or whatever. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this a lot. I think originally I wanted to say David Attenborough
Okay.
because I just fucking love him. What a sweetheart.
Nice.
But also,
Get him to MC the whole event and everything as
fully.
well.
I'd get Morgan Freeman if it's like an MC situation.
Good call. Good
surely.
call. Good call.
But I think, you watch David Attenborough documentaries nowadays, it's a bit depressing. So then I was like, who's a fun version of David Attenborough? I'd definitely get Dr. Carl, I reckon.
Okay.
From
Yeah,
Triple
yeah,
J,
yeah,
like the
yeah.
science guy in
Okay.
general. All round nice guy, very funny, very intellectual.
Nice.
So yeah, Dr. Carl.
You're going with a
lock it in.
smart table here.
I'd like to have a nice conversation that's also fun, that you get a bit lost in. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Okay.
And then I was like, musically, it'd be cool to have someone. And then it's hard with people that have passed away because you don't know if they're going to be a good time. Because I love Amy Winehouse. I reckon she's just really cool. But even maybe in her a bit cracked out era would be cool to have her then. That's a good
She
photo.
seems like an
Wow.
icon. Like, I feel like she
Yeah.
would thrive in like today's world.
Yes.
As much as you can thrive, but like,
R.I.P.
yeah,
Way too soon.
yeah. You know, my partner loves Amy Winehouse. Always
Yes.
has. Like, idolizes her.
Yeah.
We were driving the other day, and I was like, I only found out recently that she's British, and she was like, she's not British, and I was like, no, she definitely was, and she was like, no, she's American, and I was like.
Are you sure about that?
I was like, look it up right now. Are you sure about that? I was like, look it up right now. I'll put anything that you want on the line. She was like, she's American. Looked her up and she was like,
That's such a big
oh my God. And I was
bird.
like, how did I know more about your favorite artist? Yeah.
Sucked.
Yeah, exactly. So is she the one you're going with, or?
Yeah, I reckon I'm going to
Okay.
go. Because originally I was like, maybe I'd do Elvis Presley. But I get a bit of like a Johnny Bravo vibe from him. And he might be a bit of a dick.
Maybe.
You don't know. Do
Maybe.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, Amy Winehouse.
And also, if you go Amy, then you got two guys, two women.
Yeah, even it
Good
out.
balance, yeah.
Yeah. And then I am going to go with the Dalai Lama.
Okay.
Because,
It's only three people.
yeah, Dalai Lama,
Okay.
Dr. Carl, Amy Winehouse.
I thought
Me.
you said David Attenborough.
Now, switching up between David
Okay.
Attenborough or...
I thought you were
Dr.
going
Carl.
David Attenborough and Dr. Carl. I was like, damn, you're going with that fucking smart
I'm not
table,
gonna put
yeah?
myself in such...
Okay. Nice.
I could not
Right.
keep up with that conversation.
Right, neither
Do you
could
know
I.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That would be too much.
Okay, so Dr. Carl,
Yep.
Amy Winehouse, and who was the other one?
Dalai Lama.
Nice.
I went to go and see him when he came to Perth quite a few years ago with my brother, and it was so funny because I paid like it was like $150 per person or something to go, and he was raising money. Doing the tour in general anyways, and there was like a cool thing where you could submit a question beforehand and then he'd like go through, pick some questions at random
Just
and answer
roast
them
you
on
or something.
stage. Yeah, he roasted this chick, man. It was really good. Anyways, like we get there, it's at the RAC Arena, so it's like huge, packed out, and one little dude on stage, and like he starts talking, and I looked at my brother and I was like, I have no fucking idea what he's saying. Like, you know when someone's accent is quite
Yeah,
thick
yeah.
and it takes you like a solid
Yeah.
20 minutes of talking to them and you're
Yeah.
really focusing on what they're saying, and then it's almost like it clicks over in your brain and then you automatically understand the accent now. It was that.
Yeah.
But it was the shock of, fuck, I've just paid so much money for us to see this dude talk and I have no idea what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they got to like the questions and it was at the very end, and this chick had asked like, oh, you know, I'm a housewife, I've got 3 beautiful children, I've got a husband that loves me, da-da-da, but I find myself so unhappy in everyday life. Like, Dalai Lama, what is wrong with me? And he was like, ha! You ingrateful. Like, literally roasted her. And I was like, this guy's fucking funny. So, yeah, that's why I'm like, he's funny, but he's also
Yeah.
smart dude, very
Yeah.
wise, and like in obviously a religious sense, etc. as well. I'd fucking love that. So I reckon that's my 3.
I think it was the Dalai Lama. Was it Carl Stefanovic? How he did like the interview or something with him. And he like sat him down and he was like, the Dalai Lama goes to a sandwich shop or something, and he's like, okay, and he's like, and he says, can you make me one with everything? And the Dalai Lama's just like,
And
Carl was like, one with everything? And I was like, oh, Jesus.
this is awkward.
I'm pretty sure it was him. I think so.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah.
There's nothing I hate more than
Yeah.
cringe.
Oh, it's fantastic
Oh,
though.
nah, it gives me the ick, man. I can't handle the cringe, hey.
The ick. Getting up with the kids, nice. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Do you have a would you rather that you want to share? You said you had a would you rather that's not really a would you rather.
It's not a would you rather,
Okay.
but it's a personal preference.
Okay.
The question is, what is your most ideal ripeness of a banana?
Okay. I don't eat a lot of bananas.
Yeah.
But so yellow that it's not at all green,
Yeah.
but not so yellow that it's not black.
Yeah.
And
Who's eating black bananas?
exactly. People do. Apparently that's how you're supposed to eat them, when they're like almost completely black.
Absolutely not. That's
Weird.
banana bread territory, surely.
Exactly,
Yeah.
surely. And I'm going to say between 7 to 10 black markings on the skin.
little dotties or freckles.
Yeah, like lines, dots, freckles, anything like that.
Yeah.
Between 7 to 10, so not none, because then
counting them before you
yeah, because then it's not unripe.
Yeah.
Unripe. Unripe.
It's not good enough.
But it's not so black that it's going to start to go through and make it mushy, because I
Yeah.
don't want it mushy. I want it other.
A little bit starchy.
Yeah.
See, I had this conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and then I've fully started noticing it / asking people about it because I like a more softer side of banana. I don't mind if it's got a couple black dots on the actual banana itself.
Okay.
I can't pick it off with my thumb, no worries.
Yeah.
And also if it's a little bit too greeny or whatever, at the moment it's the perfect weather. If you leave it in your car for about 2-3 days, it will be perfect by the time you eat it.
What is wrong with you? Why are you going to the shop getting unripe bananas and leaving it in your car?
If there's no other option at Coles.
Hey, babe, just go chuck it in the fruit bowl in the car.
Because I eat them on the way to the gym so often. I'll eat like 3 bananas a day. So I'm not actually that picky. I'll have a starchy banana, but I'm not going to enjoy it. But I will eat it for nutritional purposes.
Okay. That's me with all foods. So,
yes, I must.
Yeah, I have to. I don't want to, but I have to. Yeah.
But if I'm like, oh, this feels really too unripe, maybe a bit green, I'll leave it on my dashboard. When it's hot, especially in WA, no fucking way you're not getting away with it. If you leave it on the dashboard,
I was going to say
black when you come back, and it is disgusting.
I was going to say
car reeks of nana.
That's how you get incredibly sick if you leave your banana on the dashboard
on a summer's day in Australia. If you can cook an egg on your bonnet,
honestly,
you'd fry a banana.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
But in this kind of weather, like
yes, I see. Because I put bananas in my smoothie. Yep. I just don't really like I don't know if it's the taste or the texture. I don't really. So
even though you're putting it in a smoothie, if it's got more than X amount of black dots on the outside you're not going to have it.
No, in that case it's fine. As long as it's not like fucking mushy and like completely black, then it's fine. Even if it's like black at the bottom, I just pick that bit off. Most of the time they're unripe when I put them in the smoothie anyway.
Are you eating the butt of the banana?
No, fuck no.
Yeah, good.
Not a chance. I should have brought a banana with me if I had known though. I learnt.
I got one in my car.
Go get it quick. On a podcast that I listen to, The Basement Yard, it's like a famous podcast. It's a comedy one. They have this like bit where they talked about bananas. And Frankie was like getting asked by Joey, how do you open a banana? And he's like, traditionally, he's like, just fucking, how do you open it? He's like, okay, from the stem part, right? But he's like, but I learnt monkeys open it from the bottom.
Do they like pinch it and it splits?
I don't know, but he's like, that's how you do it. And then you don't get the stringy parts and everything. And Joey's like, are you a monkey though? And he's like, yeah, okay. But he's like, when I'm feeling a little bit reckless, sometimes I just boom and like rip it. And I was like,
what do you mean?
I was like, nah.
Down the center?
And he did it and just like did it. And ever since then, that's how I open a banana every single time. Even after the HBF run, they had bananas and stuff. I got them, and that's how I ate it. And you're
like full alpha dons just running a fucking marathon.
Trust me,
you're whipping bananas.
So much better. You grab it like that and just pull it apart.
Where is it splitting?
In the middle. So that's the banana.
Yeah.
Like that. Grabbing it like that, pulling it apart, and it just
the skin comes off both ends.
Yep.
How are you?
No. It breaks in half.
Okay.
So you've got half a banana and half a banana.
That's
and then
too much.
And then you just get the skin and peel it, and it just comes out, and there's no stringy parts or anything, and you just open it. Okay, and then you've got two little skins. Put them inside each other in the bin.
So like whole cans to just rip a banana in half.
It's fucking. You know what I mean? It's fucking weird.
Because I really love bananas and mandarins, and I guess also oranges because they're kind of pre-wrapped by Mother Nature for you.
Yeah.
And now you're aggressively just like.
Yeah, it's like, it's wild. Like, I've got a video on my phone. I'll show you it. But like, there is also a girl on TikTok that's like, you get a banana and then just like cracks it over her head, and it's just like
that's how I
unpeeled and everything. And I'm like, sick. But like, it saves time and everything as well. It's convenient. It's fucking weird though.
Maybe it's the way we should be all doing.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, not a would you rather. But,
okay, I do like
something I've been asking even clients, etc.
I do like it.
Yeah, please. Tell me your perfect ripeness of banana. So
thanks. Drop it in the comments. Yeah. My would you rather that I've just come up with on the spot.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Go.
But I love it. Would you rather every time for the rest of your life before you eat or drink anything,
yes,
you have to perform the party rock anthem choreography, and you have to learn it beforehand so that you've got it mastered.
I'm trying to think of what it is.
Just like shuffling and all that.
Yeah,
the whole.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the whole song that they do it for, but wherever they do the choreography.
They're like, and then, okay. Yep.
Every time before you eat or drink, you have to perform the whole choreography.
That's very fucking cringe. Yeah.
Or for the rest of your life, every time that you make direct eye contact with someone in any setting, you have to stop what you're doing and either kiss them or slap box them for 10 seconds.
Oh my God.
And you can choose which one you do, because obviously if it's like an 8-year-old kid, you're not going to kiss them.
Yeah.
Everything's consensual. If you kiss them, they consent.
Yeah.
If you slap box them, they're ready to fight as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously depending on the situation, you can choose whether it's kiss or slap box.
I'm so...
And people are going to say, I already know, I could walk around with my eyes closed, get a guide dog and shit. You have to live your life completely normally.
No, I'm straight up fighting people.
Okay.
I think it'd be really good practice.
It would.
And I could just wear my Muay Thai shorts constantly and be in full gear, wraps and everything.
Imagine though.
And then it would be very obvious that like, man, don't look that chick in the eyes. Like she will fight you.
Imagine this though. You're on the train, let's say.
Yeah.
Full wraps and everything.
Yeah.
Old lady's like, why is she wearing that direct eye contact? Now you got to stand in the middle of a busy train.
Yeah.
Old woman with her walker and just...
But the...
Shouldn't have looked at me, bitch.
Don't look at me. I'm still going with the...
Well, like imagine at the Dalai Lama thing. You're like looking up at him and he looks at you. You got to go up on stage in front of everyone.
I'm drinking water all the time, like constantly. You know what I mean? I just would not... You'd be pretty fit also if you're shuffling like pretty consistently.
Mm-hmm.
You could wear wheelies or something, make a whole thing of it. You'd probably be really famous on TikTok or whatever if you just had like
It'd get fucking annoying though. Very annoying.
Yeah.
What if we say water doesn't count?
Nah.
And
I'm still kiss slapping someone
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
A little forehead kiss. People love that.
My missus sent me a thing recently. I need to put it on my story, and it's
Is
like,
it the tattooist forehead
yes,
kiss?
yeah. She's like, we need to normalize.
Yeah, I've been sent that probably like 10 times.
Yeah.
Like literally I got home last night and my fiance had sent it to me as well. And I was like, I kind of love that
Yeah.
everyone's sending me this.
I was like, I need to post it on my story, but also enough tattoo artists know me that whenever I see them now, they're going to just kind of come up and...
It's like the gold star after you've been tattooed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or getting a little...
You got through the
sticker.
whites. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
I mean, I feed my tattoo artists normally. Like if I'm having a
Nice,
snack.
A little grape.
Yeah,
situation,
exactly.
you're
So they're like,
fanning them off
I don't want them
instead.
to have to take off their gloves, so I just open.
It's really courteous
Yeah.
of you. Petition for more clients to feed me well.
And then depending how close I am with them, sometimes they're like, and I'm just like,
Yes.
and just put my fingers in
Hand
their mouth.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
There is definitely a scale of if a client offers you snacks, how close you are with them to actually be fed
Yeah.
or be like, glove off, thank you in
Yep.
between breaks.
Yeah. Well, my homie Ellen, who's an apprentice at Elysian,
Yes.
done that to her, put the fingers in the mouth,
If
everything.
you've cracked that
Yep.
that barrier,
Yep.
congratulations.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
in the inner circle
Yeah.
now.
When they become friend/artist,
Yes.
that's when it
You can
like,
feed them.
yeah. I mean, like Sani from Bittersweet, I messaged her a while ago just like check in because I love her and everything, and she was saying that she hadn't drawn up this design for someone or something, and it was a dragon. So I was like, I got you, and just went on Snapchat and quickly draw a dragon. And then went and saw her why she was like tattooing this lady, and I was like, you should have gone with this one. She was like, yeah, I prefer that one. I
That's
was
definitely
like,
better.
see?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then today I was asking how she was, and she was like, I have to draw this peacock. It's so hard to get the...
No worries, man.
Yeah, I was like, no worries. She was like, it's all right. It's just hard to get the design, the details into the cock. The P's okay, though. Yeah. And then you just sent me back a picture of like a P and then a dick, and I was like...
Very good. Very
So
good.
I would put my fingers in her mouth instead of a snack as well, and then give her a snack.
There's no
so.
snack. There's just fingers.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Maybe toes, depending on where you're getting tattooed. So
I've always had this idea of, because clients will send you little sketches and stuff
Yeah.
all the time, and they're always like, haha, not actually though, obviously make it better. But I want like a pin-up board type scenario where everybody's little drawings get to go up on display
Yes.
in the studio, Where, you know what? I could just post them as available flash if I really wanted to.
Do it. People would get it.
Yeah.
Have you seen some artists work around the world? Like they make a living off that shit. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I did have an idea for the podcast quite recently of like getting a canvas or a book or something.
Yes.
And everyone that comes
Does a
on,
little
give them a
doodle.
marker, but just give them 30 seconds.
Everyone's
and that's all.
drawing pains, surely.
Exactly. But then I was like, I can't start that now because I've done like 23 episodes.
You could do catch-ups.
But I can't
could
go and
do-
visit every single one like in order.
They could send you like a little Snapchat version or whatever, and you could like
Not
print
a
it out
chance.
and put it on or whatever
Not a
if you wanted
chance.
to.
But yeah, maybe.
Too bad. Nah,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Maybe the start of like maybe episode 50 or something. Then I'll
Yeah.
start doing it. Maybe
100?
1,000.
Pinnacle?
Mm.
Yeah, could be good.
Hotel Trivago. Nice.
To have me back. I actually have this like really bad habit of also drinking wise. Any wedding, engagement party, etc. I've been to in the guest book, I'll draw like a obscenely realistic peen.
Nice.
And then the splooge coming out of it will be where you write your little nice notes.
Nice. That's sick.
So yeah,
We need to, when me and my missus get married,
yes.
we'll invite you obviously.
Let me know, please.
And then we'll do like the thing how like people like write on the board like thank you whatever, and we'll get you to do like a hyper realistic peen.
Perfect. And then everyone's
Yeah.
letters can go
Yeah.
inside of the splooge.
Exactly.
Of each. Yeah,
Yeah.
easy. Or
Exactly.
even if you want like a custom book
Yes.
shaped like a peen.
Yeah.
And then the messages are all.
Surrounded by those flowers that you have to jerk off to get them to.
Yes.
Fuck. Yes, we got this.
Full
She's going to be so excited to hear about our wedding. I love that. Thanks so much for being on the podcast.
Anytime. Have fun.
Where can people find you either on socials or to come get tattooed by you?
Just a wee plug. Thanks for the setup. I'm at Against The Grain in Joondalup.
Nice.
And my Instagram is Tasmerelda. And also, quick plug, sneaky. The event that I'm doing for Muay Thai in 2 weeks is called Road to Legends. It's the first all-female card in WA.
Look out.
Yeah, so it's a really big deal. And if we want more all-female events or more women in the sport in general, it's really important that we get support for.
Go get around it.
Yeah, get around it. You can come down, you can live stream it, even if it's just for a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be incredible.
Do you know what the date is for that? Because it may be the same day that this episode comes out, so that'll come out in the morning. So what I'll do is I'll
Perfection.
clip that and post it like a week before,
Yes.
so people know, and I'll repost about it. But is
It's the 22nd.
Yeah,
of
I
this
thought so.
month.
So that'll be the same day that this episode comes out. So
Yeah.
it's today. So if you're not there, what the fuck are you doing? Get down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll repost about that. I'll put
you.
links and everything. I'll tag you. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate the podcast, share the podcast, tell your friends, show up to the event. And do you have a quote that you want to send us off with?
Oh my God.
Monkey never crump.
3 banana. Monkey never crumb.
Monkey never crump. See you later.